I'm going to start off with a few, starting off with Katie and Charlie. I'll read you theirs. They're not here, but there you have each of them. And let me give you a little idea.
A minute, Kleenex.
Yeah, you might need one.
Yeah, I was a slobbering mess.
Yeah, so Katie was the one who helped contact all the cousins to get them to do this. I asked her to do that because I was thinking about how every one of them has had a special relationship with you, and it would be nice for them to express in all the special ways you've been so special to them. And so here's Katie's. Let me count the ways. You've taught me about family, gratitude, and loyalty. Gran, you are always my biggest fan and cheerleader, and you push me to be my best. You're always the first person I want to tell exciting things to. That's because your enthusiasm is contagious, and you celebrate our victories big and small. When I showed you a picture of a new boy I like named Byron, you squealed and giggled so loudly that every person at the restaurant turned around. You taught me the value of enjoying dinner as a family, followed by gin rummy or pickup sticks together. You taught me to cherish life's blessings and show gratitude. Your love and devotion to Granddad inspires me to be a good spouse. You've helped me make me who I am today. Gran, you've taught me to ride a bike, play golf, and poker. I loved your competitive spirit. Thank you for cheering the loudest at my games, volleyball games, against the other team, smiley face. And thank you for teaching me that being a girl means being strong, funny, and smart. You make me laugh like no one else. When I think of you, I think of laughing and laughing until I cry. Like the time you drop kicked my troll doll onto the roof in Shaver Lake because it was ugly.
I hated that thing. I'll do it again.
She did not like it.
I did not like trolls.
Well, you certainly didn't like that one. Drop kick on Shaver Lake Cabin is pretty good. Thank you for giving the best dating advice, which helped me snag Byron. Like how you date two guys at once and pretend to be busy so a guy thinks you're out with someone else. I can only imagine you and your I can only imagine you in your 20s, you troublemaker. Thank you for secret hiding places and all the wonderful memories. My favorites involve sitting at her kitchen counter in Fresno, watching you cook French dip sandwiches or schmickelik, drinking 7-Up floats, and listening to family stories. I love you more.
Oh, that's so sweet. Katie girl.
Okay, so now we have Charlie. Charlie, with size isn't all important here, it's the content.
I know that.
Your laughter, joy, this is from Charlie. Dear Gran, your laughter, joy, and love have been so special to me, and I want to write this letter in appreciation to everything you've done and how you've inspired me to be the best person I can be. My childhood memories were full of happiness and peace despite my mother's failing health, and I can only attribute this to the friendships I've made with my grandparents and how involved you were in my life. As Mara and I look to start our own family, my hope is that we can provide an environment that is filled with as much joy and laughter as you did, but I know that's a tall order. I could try and list all the wonderful things you've done for me, but they are too numerous to count, and I can only say how truly and deeply I love you, but I know you love me more.
There's a common theme.
Okay, so
Oh, wow.
why don't you try a few, Mike? Here's Michelle's.
I have it right here. I'll just read it.
Oh, okay. Well, this is probably the
Anybody
easiest
have
way
a
to read it.
Kleenex?
Does anyone have a Kleenex?
Okay. You have Michelle? Oh, you want
know,
to
Gran probably has
We'll do
several.
Bailey.
Do you have any on your up your sleeve?
I can do, yeah. Why don't you do Bailey and Kylie and...
Yeah. So this is from Bailey. So,
Hey.
dear
Go,
Gran,
you're
how
going
do
to
I begin?
venture out of this room and look around a little bit.
Mike's reading.
I'm reading. Begin to count the ways you've impacted my life. It seems like an impossible feat to anticipate the impact you have left, but let me try counting all the ways you've shaped my life. Through special moments and memories of you I've gotten to share. So these are the list of memories. The way every time I hear you laugh, it makes me smile. It has a way of overpowering the dark in the dimmest room. Your sharp wit and never failing sense of humor to bring me to giggle even during the toughest of times. Never sleeping the night before you came to visit because there was too much excitement upon your arrival. Even peering underneath the bathroom door when you were getting ready and hiding under. I'll never forget the time I hid underneath your bed while you and Granddad slept because I couldn't risk sparing one moment not being with you during your stay. Do you remember you discovered her under the bed?
Because you wanted to be so
No,
close
no,
to you.
Really?
in the morning, I said, oh, Ann, you'd be so proud of your little girl. She came to my room, but she went right to bed after I told her to. She said, no, I didn't, Gran. I slept under your bed.
She wanted to be close to her.
She was obsessed with her.
You know, finding secret hiding places and cherishing the special time I got just with you. And that woman who claimed such a beautiful day, absolutely no one is in the neighborhood while we were cackling, hiding in the bushes. Visiting you you and Granddad every birthday I could in my childhood, and making
Yeah,
guava
yeah.
jam and drinking Diet Cherry 7-Up. Squeezing your wrinkles and asking if my face would be like that one day too from laughing too much. Our Palm Desert visits and sushi nights, and finally being the age when I could drink a martini with you.
Oh, well, we haven't come to that yet.
Spending holidays with you and the whole family, and saving every pair of pajamas you've ever given me. Your 50th anniversary, and watching how in love you and Granddad were still after all those years. Making you spray your perfume on my things as a kid, hoping it would make the goodbye easier every time you left. Getting to meet your friends at the Wellington, Fresno, Palm Desert, and knowing no matter where you go, you have a village of people behind you. Sitting on a beach when I was 4 with the Jonathan Seagulls and asking you if you were happy, and you just saying yes, very. Still to this day, one of the most special moments I'll ever remember was that afternoon. I could go on, but the truth is there's so many special memories to share in one letter, but the common theme is that all my memories of you are filled with joy and laughter. I can never count the ways you've influenced me because you've helped me, shape me every part of whom I am. I've looked up to you since I can remember, and your love of life and family, selflessness, energy, strength, and wisdom inspire me every day. I hope one day, a long time from now, I look back on all of my years and feel as sure as proud of you of when I look at the life you have lived and are living. Your zest for life and sense of humor have only grown through the years. I'm almost falter. You motivate me to smile when I want to sulk, be grateful when I want to complain, love when I want to dislike, and laugh when I want to cry. Life is too short to live any other way than the way you have lived it, Gran. I'm so grateful I got you as a Gran. You are a mentor, an inspiration, and most of all, a gift in my life. I hope you know that if I could, I would count the ways to say how much you mean to me, how many special ways you've touched my life, but the number is truly infinite. It's like trying to quantify how much family loves you, because the math is we'll always love you more.
Oh,
Love
that's
you
so
more.
sweet. That's my big,
Very well written.
big.
What's the fall of that?
It was an essay.
Beautiful.
That was my shadow.
Take a few days off work to write that one.
What's that?
Probably take a few days off work to write that one.
It's manifest.
She was gone a couple of days.
Is Michelle's letter. Gran is more than a friend, more than a grandma. She is a force.
Whoa.
A force of God's goodness in hard times, a force of joy when life throws curveballs at you, a force of encouragement when you need it most. You feel it in the homes she's lived in, you feel it at the Wellington, you can feel it at every gathering she's present at. This is something, there's something about her face that radiates joy, invites you to be part of it as well. I hope one day to have the same force. So we pause for
Lots for Kleenex.
A sniffle
Kleenex
moment.
and sniffling. Yeah, my earliest memories of Gran were of her in her sweatsuits and gray hair playing secret hiding places with us. I remember one time someone found us and wondered what in the world were we doing in the bushes a block away from my house. We probably looked pretty silly, but that's the thing about Gran. It's okay to live a life of silliness. As I got older, I started listening more to Gran's wisdom, watching her as she cared for her kids and grandkids, listening to her stories of growing up and the different hardships she faced, hearing about her independent and silly spirit even from a young age. The pranks she would play on the kids at the YMCA, like telling them that she could tell them exactly the time of day by looking at the sun. Oh, don't we know it? Little did the kids know that she was looking at her watch when they turned away.
I hadn't heard that one.
That's pretty clever.
Well done, Mom. As well as the silly side, Gran is incredibly strong. She stands firm in her beliefs and loves her people wholeheartedly. She's not afraid to be exactly who God makes her to be, and that is a beautiful thing to watch. Not many people live with such radical self-acceptance as Gran does, to be fully who you are, uninhibited and proud of it too. She's not afraid to love even when it hurts, and I was absolutely honored to watch her love Granddad in his final days.
Need a Kleenex break.
Who's that?
He needs Kleenex.
Yeah. We cried a lot together, but the joy deep down in her heart couldn't help but bubble over even in those times. Gran told me something that stuck. God first, husband second, family third. I have seen her live out that in her own marriage, and God gave her a bold strength to love Granddad even when it hurt the most. I hope to love Spencer as well as Gran loved Granddad. Today, I enjoy our talks and our visits together. I know no matter how Gran is feeling, that she can brighten my week with a smile, a hug, a silly joke, or simply by being who she is. Gran will forever be my hero. Okay,
Wow.
somebody else.
All right. So I'll read Kylie's. Let me count the ways. How special am I? Not only do I get to call you my Gran, but I also have to get to calling you my godmother. You have been and always been. There will be a light in my life. Our times together are the most special memories. Ones I cherish so deeply. From egg sandwiches, orange soda floats, card games, and swimming, the desert was always a fun time. But of all the trips to the desert, my most favorite memory was with you in the golf cart. What we thought would be a nice drive to the putting green soon turned into fear of the wrath of Granddad when he found out I was driving the beloved Jaguar golf cart and accidentally backed into a giant spy plane. Shortly, our panic burst into a fit of laughter and a promise. And a promise. The phone call that came in. Our burst of laughter turned into a fit of laughter and a promise to keep my little mishap to ourselves. He never told Granddad.
I wasn't going to tell Granddad.
Well, he wouldn't know anyway. He got so many dents to that golf cart. Every time we are together, we laugh and laugh and laugh. When we go to, especially when we were going squirrel hunting in Fresno. Remember the noisemakers, those whistle things that you we were supposed to stay very, very quiet, but that would never last very long. When I was younger, I once innocently, yet audaciously asked you why you have so many wrinkles. You simply responded to me, they come from laughing. At the time, I became terrified to laugh. But thinking back on it now, If that's true, then I'll be lucky to have all of your wrinkles, because I know it would mean I would have had just as a portion of the same laughter in my life and love in my life as you have had. You have taught me the most important thing in life. Love, laughter, and family mean everything. I hope you know how special you are to me and everyone who has been blessed to know you. No words can do it justice how much you mean to me. I love you bigger than the sky. Love, Kylie.
Oh, Kylie, Grandma. My little goddaughter and grandchild.
Unless one of you want to read your own. Anyone?
I know.
Okay. So this is from Courtney. It's to my sweet Gran. As I have gotten older, I have become much more appreciative of the relationship we share, a relationship that is unassuming, loving, filled with laughter and sometimes tears. I've grown to realize that not everyone is lucky enough to have a grandmother, and I feel so blessed to have two amazing examples still with me today. Some of my fondest memories include you recalling a wonderful story of when my parents left for the weekend wine tasting trip to Sonoma when I was a toddler. I managed to eat some neon green chalk. And well, you know the rest.
I went to change your diaper, and I know what in the world. I know what diarrhea meant, but I didn't know what light green.
You're like, not on my clock, not on my clock.
I was hoping I'd find out what the answer to that was, so that's how you found out.
Eating green chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
In all seriousness, I clearly remember my childhood with you, sitting outside and having tea parties in the front yard, touching your skin and admiring how soft and silky it felt.
Thank you, Courtney.
I still smile when I think about the pony rides, and all of the grandkids would take turns being bounced on your lap, eating handfuls of nuts and bolts at the bar in your Fresno house, BW sitting on the back patio,
Oh,
stepping outside with you and always taking the time to smell the roses. Literally and figuratively, I remember the stories of your neighbors, the rude children and learning not to put elbows on the table, card games, specifically BS, brown sugar of course.
Brown sugar.
I laugh when I recall your squeamish reaction after Chandler would pick up any reptile or bug, and followed by, "Don't do that."
yeah, hurt the
Mid-chuckle.
bug.
Into my teenage years, I will never forget when you and Granddad came to visit Oakdale for the first or second time. The Bureau of Land Management was hosting the annual Wild Mustang and Burro auction.
Wow.
Does that?
Yeah.
We all know.
BLM.
Okay. Normally, we would have passed by without a second thought, but instead we stopped, pulled into the rodeo grounds, and spent time picking our favorites. There was one horse that stood out, a red roan stallion that seemed to look into our souls. It was a magical moment watching a creature so wild be so still. Not too long ago, you met Elliot for the first time. We were in Fresno for one of Matt's golf tournaments, and you asked Elliot to sit next to you. You discussed your mutual love of tennis, asked him about his family, his job in the wine industry, and when the conversation was tapering off, you pulled me aside and said, "He is the salt of the earth." I agree then, and I feel the same now. I often think that we wait too long to tell people we love how much they mean to us. So I want to thank you. Thank you for creating a loving family that will stand the test of time. Thank you for establishing traditions that will carry on for generations to come. Thank you for teaching me to laugh and smile through it all. Thank you for giving me your competitive spirit. Thank you for showing me that it is okay to get emotional when something means so much. But most of all, thank you for making sure we all know it's possible to love someone more. Love you more, Courtney.
Oh,
Grandkid number 5.
Oh,
Nope.
she's
I knew what you were saying. I still love you more.
Very cute.
Oh, that's so sweet. But I do love you more.
Gran, what was it you used to say when we were on your lap?
Doodle,
No, it was down. It was down. No, it was down.
Seriously, they would be lined up, ready to go on to your
And
lap.
then Dad.
What was the first break?
Yeah. And then you fall.
It's the best part.
Oh, that seems so long
Okay,
ago.
Well,
Daddle doodle, daddle doodle, daddle doodle.
You can
Doodle,
read Christine's
doodle,
and
daddle.
yours if you would.
He, Colin should, who's
Or read
gonna
yours
read
own,
his?
yeah.
Okay. Well, this is nothing great new, Gran. But, dear Gran, you have an enviable sense of humor and a contagious smile. Even when I drained all of the money from your online poker account, you still had the kindness to laugh it off.
I was not smiling. What? You did what? I couldn't believe you had done that.
That's fun.
Well, so you laughed it off.
I'm still laughing it off.
she's still thinking about it.
Still pissed.
You are the family's indisputable matriarch. You have raised and brought together such a beautiful, strong, and supportive family, and you should be proud. You are a source of light to those around you, a person that everybody wants to hear from and talk to, a true social butterfly. You bring energy and compassion into every conversation, which truly draws out the best in others.
Oh, God, love you.
Love your grandson, Colin.
Oh,
That's very nice.
that's sweet, so sweet.
You want to read Christine's?
This is from Christine, my sister.
I know.
The other
We have to
Christine.
clarify.
Christine number 3.
Christine number 3.
Number 2.
Dear Gran, I am so unbelievably lucky to be named after you. I can't imagine being named after another more amazing woman than yourself. Thank you for your constant love and laughter. Thank you for all of your encouragement throughout my years of playing soccer and being the best fan on the sideline. Thank you for teaching me how to pursue what I want in life with class and confidence. I love you more. You don't cry, I don't cry, see you
Oh,
later.
that
Love, Christine.
just had to be the saying for years after.
See, you know what, you said, I was saying Tuesday, but then
See,
in
Monday.
the letter, she said Monday. I thought she had it wrong, but she was the original, right?
Yeah.
No, but the nanny came back on Monday. And that's what she'd say to her every time she left. She'd say, you don't cry. I don't cry. I see you Monday. And here she is, 2.5, and I'm starting to fill up to start crying.
Christine was trying to say something to console her at this
No,
little
no,
age, and
we
so
said
and it
that-
was sort of random.
Yeah.
So it stuck. Yeah.
It stuck for years
Oh,
and
it's
years
so
and years.
sweet.
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Where am I?
So Matt, it's almost exactly in order. I think.
Chronological. Yeah, I got it.
I didn't know you were the youngest of the 3 boys.
All right, here we go. Dear Gran, in my life, I hope to leave the world better than I found it. And when I think of all the role models who helped me achieve this goal, you top the list. I'll never meet a person with such a profound love for the world. Whether it be your love for family, for friends, or your love for God, there always seems enough to go around. As I grow up and continue to develop into the man I want to be, I can't help but think back on all the ways you have shown me how to be a gentleman in all walks of life. As a little kid, one of the first memories I have with you is playing gin rummy with you every time I visited. Whenever I would lose, I remember throwing a fit, but when you lost, all I saw was a laugh and smile. I've never been the best loser and probably never will be, but you taught me the importance of being gracious even in defeat, and I've always tried to carry that lesson with me, despite some of my worst impulses. When I got a little older and developed an interest in golf, it was you that made me believe the sky was the limit. Even when I was just starting out, I remember you coming to watch me play. When I thought I was playing poorly, you were amazed at my growth and potential. When I thought I could never win a tournament or be as good as some of my friends, you told me how much you believed in me. You are the most encouraging person I've ever known, and the way you have treated me and all of your grandchildren is truly beautiful. While I never became a professional golfer, I can still hear your encouragement wherever I go and whatever I do. Whenever I think I'm not good enough, I can hear you cheering me on without hesitation.
Oh, that's so sweet.
While visiting you over the past few years at the Wellington, I'm still amazed at your positivity and love for those around you. Despite everything you have been through and all the lives you have touched already, you never stop loving those around you. Whenever we stroll through the Wellington hallways, watching you speedily wheel around, compliment everyone passing by, and laugh endlessly, makes me believe that no matter where my life takes me, I can always show love and happiness.
Yeah.
I have undoubtedly made many mistakes in my life, but from everything you have shown me, I now understand that there is no limit to how much joy I can spread, despite all my shortcomings. When I eventually have kids and hopefully grandkids of my own, I always look back at my memories of you for guidance on how to be the best version of myself. Gran, you truly are a living miracle, and there's nothing I can do or say to repay you for all the love you have shown me. I will never forget the memories we have shared so far, and I will forever look to you for guidance and wisdom as I continue my own journey. I appreciate and love you with all my heart.
Oh, wow.
Nice, man.
What can I do? I don't know.
What can you do? You've already done.
Done a lot of good.
Oh, my God.
There's some common
There
things.
must be
Legacy.
Yeah.
Must be,
Right?
Competitiveness.
Yeah.
must be
Legacy.
talking about somebody else. Oh.
More.
So you can read, Brooke's gonna read hers.
Brooke's gonna read hers.
Never ends, Gran. We got a lot of us.
No.
She's your problem for having so many kids.
So, I remember for my 6th birthday, my mom and I went to Palm Springs to have a girls' weekend with Gran and her friends. Gran had made me a beautiful Disney princess castle cake that was 3 layers tall and had all the Disney princesses on it. She also gave me a tiara and a sash that was pink and said princess on it. I can still taste the cake that was vanilla with vanilla icing, my favorite. It was so fluffy and delicious. I still have a picture of Gran and I looking at the cake together. I still remember it like it happened yesterday.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much, Brooke.
I think she's still reading. She just needs a Kleenex break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a little pause, an intermission.
Do you want me to finish for you, Brooke?
Oh, it wasn't done.
No, there's a few more
Well,
paragraphs.
she needed a Kleenex break, but I'm happy to finish.
And how you
Another
feel.
memory I have is always leaving from Gran and Granddad's and them standing. Oh, now I'm gonna lose it.
We'll pass it around. We'll hopefully get around the whole table.
Leaving from Gran and Granddad's and them standing on the driveway waving and crying, oh my gosh, as we pulled away and them calling out, I love you mores. Calling out their I love you mores. I know cry, you know cry, see you Tuesday. Legacy of Christine.
It's gonna go every day of the week.
See you Thursday.
I remember Gran and I going to the pool together or the jacuzzi and how Gran would always make me a root beer float whenever I would come over. Gran is such a strong and wonderful mother, daughter, sister, neighbor, and grandma, and the impact she has made on my life is no longer what you're going through. As long as you keep your head up and keep a positive attitude, you will be able to accomplish anything and be able to do anything you set your heart to. I wouldn't be who I am without Gran's influence in my life and her role as matriarch. I am so blessed to be able to call her my grandma. I love you more, Brooke.
Oh, Brooke. That is really darling. That is
I think that's most.
There's one there from
Oh,
Tyler.
Tyler. Yeah, here's Tyler.
Oh,
And there's a few more in there.
Chandler.
There's
A few
Jennifer. Yeah.
Chandler.
I have mine too.
You have yours, and
Yeah.
Kyle will read his after. I'll read Tyler's. Let me count the ways. Dear Gran, you are special to me through so many ways, from our little conversations. What do you need, Mom?
anything to drink.
Oh, let's get you some water.
You get water upstairs.
Okay.
There's probably some right there. I'll join you. Let's get some.
Okay. Sorry. You are special to me through so many ways, from our little conversations that always leave the biggest impact to our wonderful Sunday brunches. You always support me through all my sports, despite some of them being a little more dangerous than you'd like. Rugby. I remember when you came to one of my Pop Warner football games to cheer me on. I specifically remember seeing your face in the grandstands and the instantaneous joy that followed, knowing that you had made it to my game. You always are proud of me and make me happy to be a Johnson. You have the biggest heart in the whole world and put everyone above yourself. And that's why you are special to me. Love, Tyler.
Aw, neat.
I remind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people get to know their grandmothers as someone they get to see every now and then on holidays and family gatherings. As they themselves grow older, they get to better know their grandmothers and form a very special and loving relationship with each other. As a kid, I knew my grandmother in this way. She was someone who would spoil me with sugar cereal and every once in a while let me drive the golf cart. After the years went by and Granddad passed away, I began to form a close relationship with Gran. I always looked up to Gran as a grandmother, but it wasn't until she moved to Orange County that I looked up to her as a friend. The amount of love and respect I have for Gran is unmatched. She is everything that someone could ask for in a grandmother and in a friend. She is fun, caring, loving, competitive, and wise. Gran is always someone you want rooting for you in the stands of life because you know that she will have your back and always expecting you to do your best. Love of sports is something that we closely share, and there is no one I'd rather be watching Sunday football with as long as her team is winning. My favorite part about Gran is her competitiveness. Whether it's a friendly card game we play or a basketball game we watch, she will be fully invested in winning anything. This quality is something I've always admired. It makes me see Gran as not just my sweet grandmother, but as a badass.
You say badass or badass?
Badass.
Both.
A badass that will always face whatever life throws at her. Gran, you have taught me to be a gentleman and a competitor, but you have most importantly taught me about the importance of family.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I love you to the moon and back, and a few trips after that.
Oh, I love you.
That was really good, Kyle.
Bless you, bless you, bless you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more you can
That was
read
good.
at your leisure. No, it's probably a lot for you to take in, but a
Well,
lot
I
of
think
common
we-
themes, Mom.
I think we've only left one out.
Yeah,
That's what
maybe
Reed
said.
Jen.
Jennifer?
Yeah.
I think
Jennifer,
Jen.
Chandler, and
Jen or
Jen.
Chandler.
Chandler.
Yeah. So
Chandler.
who's got?
Oh, sweet
Okay, I'll read Jen. You can read Jen.
Okay.
All right. Jen, let's see. Dear Gran.
How about Ron and Val?
Well, those are the adults.
Right,
We're gonna
those
get
are-
that's
those are-
round
That's
two.
tranche
That's-
number
That's
two.
round two.
That's round
That's
two.
for your birthday.
Yeah.
Round
We're
two.
saving
We
that
gotta
for your
save
birthday.
something for you. Okay.
It won't be a dry ass than a planet.
Jeez. Okay. Dear. Okay. Let me go. Dear Gran, this is Jen. I want to share a few reasons why I love you so much, and the light that you bring into my life. When I think of a time with you, I think of laughter, games, smiles, and lots of love. I love your passionate and opinionated spirit.
Opinionate, Mom.
Yes.
Oh, that's classic. And I often think about how part of me has come from who you are. I couldn't be more grateful for that. I think of faith, perseverance, commitment, and loyalty. Traits I hope to carry out in my life, in my own life. I love you. I love how much you love Granddad and how fondly you spoke of him always, even though he wasn't perfect, as none of us are. No matter how much you walk through in life, you carry forward a joy that I admire so deeply. These are just a few of the ways why I love you. When I think of a time with you, I think of the long walks, looking for hiding places, lots of Mikalik, and a whole lot of card games. Thank you for always being you, always reminding me of your love for us, and always remember I love you most. Ooh, love
How's
Jen.
that?
She says I love you most. She got you. This is Jen. Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Oh my.
But she got you with I love you most.
My God, she
I
got
think
me.
you get top most.
Good Chandler.
Mostest.
I think it's the next page, right?
Keep going. Never ends.
The most is most.
How dare she say my more.
Look at it.
She got you.
Mostester.
Sister.
Mostest.
I need that Kleenex
So this
therapy.
This is the last one in the book. Dear Gran, it's from Chandler.
Oh, God loves
Dear Gran, I love you more than words can describe. I appreciate you every day. I'll never forget who taught me how to play just about every board game known to man. Nor will I forget the countless time we spent together arguing about who loves who more. I'd like to say a few of the many reasons why you are so special to me, Gran. You're special because you are strong, joyous, and loving. You embrace every challenge with grace, enthusiasm, and determination. You care for others with your whole heart. You're passionate and full of life. You're funny, and your quick wit always keeps me on my toes. Your smile lights up the room, and your laugh could make the darkest days bright. But most of all, Gran, you are special to me because you have taught me that you can always learn to love someone and something more. I love you more. Chan.
Oh, wow.
Wow. We have some excellent writers in this family.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow,
So
those are
some
some
common themes. You
papers.
must have had a lot of
Whoa.
secret hiding
Yeah.
places.
Schmickelick. These are a couple
Secret hiding
illustrations that Holly did.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, they're
How did you do that,
beautiful.
Holly?
She did kind of a,
I used to doodle with the kids, and it was sort of Eastery.
yeah,
You
we,
did that on Easter eggs?
No, on a piece of paper when we would draw with the kids,
And then you just photos.
so,
and I just took a picture of it. Yeah.
so some others are, Holly and others are have written letters, but we're gonna put them in a second book.
Oh, wow.
But we're gonna save that one for a little
That'll be
later
a
on.
later
Yeah, we got
Two
round
more.
two.
Yeah.
Round two.
Something to look forward to.
That was all the grandkids. We got everybody.
Max still has
Let's get
one.
overdose on anti-crime pills.
Well, and that, then we need to leave the best for last there.
Yeah, Max has got his ready to go pretty soon.
Perfect.
But I suggest
On the way.
Kyle that you guys print Kyle's out and
Yeah,
put it inside.
I'll bring
and
it on
Max
Tuesday.
Print one.